Hello and welcome back. Thanks for joining me. In this tutorial, we're going to review how to complete the contract. Let's get into it. So at the top of the contract is the student information section. Most of this information is available in the student information database, Infinite Campus. But it helps to make sure that the information is current. So during the intake meeting, have the student and parent verify that the contact information is accurate. Also, on the right hand side, in terms of semesters, the high schools operate on a semester and quarter system. So if the student is enrolling into the program in either the first or second quarter with the intention of finishing the school year, make sure you put down semester 1-2. If the student is entering the program in the third quarter or later, then just use the number 2 for second semester. And then the start date is typically the date of the intake appointment, and it can be after that, but the date is important, especially when it comes time to signing the contract. I'll get into that later. Let's take a look at the next slide. In the student course, in the subject course enrollment section, the course titles that you enter should align with the course titles in either Infinite Campus or the course catalog. That way, the alignment with the course code number and the course title is clear and there's no confusion. In terms of the credits column, you want to fill this out according to the student's needs. If a student is taking a year-long course, that's typically 10 credits. And if the student's taking a one-semester course, that is typically 5 credits. And sometimes a student has completed partial credits in a subject, let's say 2 credits, and they just need 8 credits to complete, let's say, a world history course. In that case, you would put down 8 credits instead of 10. In the scheduled weekly appointment time and location, the location is typically at the Independent Studies office at Brinkwoods High School. The days, we usually schedule students to come in twice a week on either Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays, with no student appointments on Friday. This is because, as a program, the teachers have agreed to bundle all of their prep periods into Friday so that we could conduct paperwork and catch up on grading papers and conduct staff meetings and teacher collaborations, which all occur on Fridays. The appointment time generally is scheduled in 1-hour windows. However, as the year progresses and teachers' rosters increase, appointment times tend to overlap by about half an hour in order to accommodate the number of students. But what we put down on the contract is typically a 1-hour appointment window. And finally, there's the fine print. Well, maybe not finally, but there's a lot of legally binding details about the protocols, procedures, and expectations of students, their parents, the teacher, and the school district in this contract. So you're encouraged to read it so you're familiar with all of the terms of this agreement. But here's a couple of key points worth mentioning. One, participation is voluntary. So if the student or family elects to return to their home school, the district must reinstate the student within 5 instructional days of a written notice. The fine print also describes behavioral and academic expectations, as well as a tiered system of interventions before a student is dismissed from the program. And it also outlines details regarding students in need of special support, such as English learners or special education students with 504 plans, and individualized education plans. And at the very bottom of the contract is the signatures page. You need to have the student, the parent, and the supervising teacher sign this contract. Other people who may sign are anybody who might be at the intake meeting, which could include the academic counselor, a resource specialist, the principal, or perhaps language translators. And finally, in terms of dating the contract, please make sure that the signature date is either on or before the start date indicated in the student information section at the top of the contract. That's so that there's no gaps in student enrollment, and we can give credit for whenever the start date is indicated. If the signature is accidentally dated after the start date, just reprint and re-sign the document just to make sure that we have clean documentation. And that's it. Thanks again for joining me. Hope you found that informative, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.